Welcome to the Hope for the Journey podcast, a weekday wellness tips program presented by Dr. Denise Marie, Third Order Carmelite. Dr. Denise is a professionally qualified clinical psychologist, health and wellness professor and coach, counselor, plus medicinal herbs educator. Each Hope for the Journey podcast features a well-being key from Dr. Denise, helping you meet your self-care needs for living well. Listener discretion is advised because this and other Hope for the Journey episodes may contain discussions surrounding behavioral health problems and other actual potentially triggering topics.
Hello and good day to everyone. Welcome back to Hope for the Journey. I do hope things are coming along okay for you today. My name is Dr. Denise, and on today's episode of the podcast, our topic is Be Glad, which is a psychological self-care key for living well. It is not a good idea to focus too much daily energy on the things that go wrong in your life, on the bad breaks that have happened to you, on each of the disappointments, on what you do not have. It is not good to lose sight of the things that truly matter, to forget that one's happiness in life is not founded on an event or a circumstance, a thing, or an achievement. When you are feeling that your life is going down, you can actually play more of a role in uplifting your life than you may realize. Have you fully recognized that you can bring more gladness into your life? That you have opportunities to choose to be glad? That though you might not be able to change your current situation, you can change how you react to it? Have you realized that you can learn how to be more happy through making some intentional efforts toward that goal? That you can take steps to be happier with your life. So I have a question to pose to you for your self-reflection. When was the last time you did a happiness checkup on yourself? And you might be pondering, why is being happy important in living well? And certainly, when you are truly glad about your life in general, there is greater likeliness that a number of things are happening. And that's what I'd like to turn our attention to at the moment. When you are really glad about your life, you will have greater psychological health instead of becoming prone to depressive symptoms or having other behavioral health ailments. You will have a heart's desire to achieve the goals you have. You will pursue the things in life that you have dreamed about. When you are truly glad about your life, you will be more self-confident instead of more negative toward yourself. You will be stronger to not let the sun go down on your anger. when you are glad about your life, you will be more positive toward the other people around you. You will have greater physical health instead of having medical issues such as high blood pressure. There are both common sense strategies and scientific backed ways to give your own happiness a boost. Even small things you can do to get into a better mood, to be more glad in your life. And so I'd like to talk next about what these strategies that are common sense and scientific backed directions to give your happiness a boost. So to improve your gladness, you can set aside complaining about your losses and lamenting your negative life circumstances. I think it is a good idea also to evaluate what is the biggest stress in your life in order to begin finding ways to deal with that stress head on. I also think it is important to find ways to let go of the things in your life that are regularly causing you undue pain and needless suffering. To give your happiness a boost, you can also listen to an inspirational podcast relevant to what the struggle is. You might also want to tackle the one thing on your to-do list that's been bugging you of late. Clinical studies have further shown how even doing 7 minutes of exercise in a given day increases happiness. On my part, I have a particular fondness for the gentle body movement exercises known as Holy Fit, and that's WHOLY, FIT, F-I-T, Holy Fit. Holy Fit is a Bible-based alternative to yoga that can do nicely for filling that gap of 7 minutes of exercise a day. Another gladness booster could be simply buying yourself a bouquet of flowers. And what about listening to your favorite feel-good songs? Research has shown the value of listening to happy music to increase our gladness. You can spend time being with and talking to the happy people in your life, the people who have a positive mindset that can really impact you in a positive way. Believe it or not, research even indicates that you can be glad by simply sitting down to enjoy a cup of tea. Tea time is a wonderful tradition, especially in my book, if you are availing yourself of the incredibly large variety of herbal teas. And you could also give yourself a happiness boost by communicating with friends or family members in your life who you find uplift you. There is also the opportunity to write a gratitude list, to engage in the wonderful practice of counting your blessings. This is something you can do before bedtime, perhaps listing at least 5 things that you have been grateful for during the day. Things that have made you smile, things that have made you glad. Quality wellness research continues to provide evidence for the value of practicing gratitude. Believe it or not, scientific studies have also shown that happiness boost can come from praying. Simply talking to God can bring about our gladness. How about the idea of creating a vision board to display your goals with personally meaningful targets? This is actually a happiness habit that is backed by research. And lastly, you can always seek wellness coaching support. There is no need to remain afraid to ask for help in increasing your happiness. So you might be wondering at this point how often to put these ideas for increasing your gladness into practice in your life. Well, I recommend doing at least 2 of these common sense strategies and or scientific backed activities every day. Doing so can result in your being less likely to become overwhelmed by life's daily challenges. So, as you can see, it is possible to find and intentionally build happiness into your life. Making choices each day to experience joy enhances your psychological well-being. Being glad is our self-care key of the day, a significant key to have on your Living Well keychain. Next, in this podcast, I wanted to speak about 2 celebrities who reflect the psychological benefits of choices for gladness in their day-to-day lives. First, then, I mention Reba McEntire, American actress and superstar country music singer. In one interview, Reba was asked to reveal her secret to feeling joyful. And her reply is very interesting. Besides going out, quote, to eat pizza, end quote, with Team Reba, her plan is to, quote, continue doing what she loves to do, say yes to the things that will be fun, continue being healthy. That's what she prays for daily. And a second example of a person who understands the mental health advantages of being glad is Kirk Cameron, an American TV, film actor, producer, and television host. Kirk has expressed publicly that one can find happiness even when one is not feeling happiness emotionally. That there are suggestions people can follow to find joy. For example, choosing to do things that can renew your mind. So, as you can tell, it is evident that both Reba McEntire's and Kirk Cameron's practices of choosing happiness form part of their daily routines for living well. I recently discovered a piece of music quite in sync with this podcast topic about making choices for gladness. The song is simply named Find Your Happiness from singer Rachel Schroeder. And with the internet's help, I found the song lyrics, and here are the ones I want to highlight for reading today. Today is the perfect day to let go. Listen to your soul. Today is the perfect day to smile. It's in the little things. Don't be afraid of happiness. While the gray days fade, don't look for more. Life is full of color. Let yourself discover your happiness. Find your happiness. Today is the perfect day to dream. Take a leap of faith. Today is the perfect day to feel free. Take a chance today. Don't be afraid of happiness while the gray days fade. Find your happiness. In this song by Rachel Schroeder, I think the words focus on some of the mindset needed to encourage a habit of being glad in your life for the good of your psychological and your overall wellness. At this juncture, I wish to draw your attention toward a bit of extra care for you and your psychological wellness by reviewing the following: a trio of health foods and plants that can support building greater gladness into your life, which is our psychological self-care key of the day. Just remember that before personal use, it is good to go over these health foods and plants with your doctor because of the importance of your individual health circumstances. So, in service of pursuing gladness, I am featuring these particular health foods and plants as complementary to the functioning of both soul and body. First, I am pointing out dandelion. Dandelion has actually been eaten for thousands of years as a food and a botanical medicine to help lower depressive complaints. Then I would like to point out sardines to eat. Sardines have power to increase one's energy and work against feeling down. I also wish not to bypass the option of eating Brazil nuts, which are actually fruits. Brazil nuts will improve your cell energy in service of overall health. For sure, it is a good idea to speak with your doctor about whether or not to use such plants and health foods in a way that your personal health status would not be overlooked. Other than that, I am pleased by this opportunity to indicate dandelion leaf, sardines, and Brazil nuts as a set of nature's gifts that could possibly aid your efforts in making choices for gladness, especially for the benefit of your psychological well-being. I also wish to include this brief item for sharing with you today. It is a post-it note I have written to encourage you to make times of being glad part of your daily self-care plan. So I hope you will take to heart these words from a friend, adapted from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 25. Do not let roots of heaviness stay in your heart, because they can make you stoop, but good words which can make your heart glad. Next, I wanted to feature a phone app to support efforts to seek being glad daily, particularly to promote your psychological wellness. And I found the quote-unquote Optimism app by Volcano. The description of the app says, quote, "At some point, we all need a sentence of optimism. Optimism is an application that shows you sentences of optimism and motivation. Contains a list of over 300 phrases." End quote. Such are meant to increase your positive outlook. Then, beyond this optimism app which I highlight today, you can bear in mind that there are other directions for help present in our Hope for the Journey podcast resource center located on Instagram at Cause for Hope. Also, as a means of closing this evening presentation, I would like to reveal my gladness about having this podcast opportunity with you to discuss today's subject matter, to talk about the psychological self-care key of being glad. And please know that I personally wish you more hope for the journey of greater well-being.
The Hope for the Journey program airs weekday evenings from 7:45 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Instagram and YouTube. Dr. Denise thanks you for listening to her Community Wellness podcast and wishes you to keep in mind that there is cause for hope of more well-being.